we have Jeremy on the phone with us.
Jeremy Dixon, according to Scaffi, New Zealand's most beloved chef. Good morning to you, my friend. It's great to have you with us.
Well, great to be here. Thanks for the kind words.
My pleasure. You're deserving of them, particularly now that you're going to be teaching us how to do some yummy, succulent, and delicious healthy desserts here. So what do we have in the pipeline today? Because I'm hungry.
Yeah, so I thought I was just rummaging through my cookbooks, and I just thought I'd pick out 5 really cool dessert slice, healthy kind of sweet recipes to share with you. And I think I've shared quite a few with you. You know, most of our discussions over the past few weeks with going around the world, we've had desserts, but I've found some that we haven't discussed, so I thought I'd share with you.
Okay, all right. Well, you take the lead. So where do we go now? What's dessert number 1?
First one's out of my cookbook 6, and it's a moist raw carrot and ginger cake with orange icing.
Oh, no, stop it. Just say that again. Say that one more time here. Moist carrot cake.
Raw carrot and ginger cake.
Wow. Like you got me already. Okay, so how do we make this?
Yeah, so your typical carrot cake's generally full of a lot of white flour, a lot of sugar, and actually a lot of oil. So the normal carrot cakes, this one's actually quite cool. So there's 2 parts to it. First, there's the base, and the ingredients for this are 2 cups of grated carrot, 1.5 cups of rolled oats, 1 cup of chopped dates, half a cup of coconut, 1/4 cup of raisins, half a cup of dried cranberries, and a tablespoon of water. So you kind of mix it around, so you've kind of got like a cakey style kind of mix.
Okay.
And this is more of a sliced carrot cake than like a big tall kind of fluffy carrot cake. So you basically push it into like a nice dessert tin or something. And then you make the icing, which is, you throw these ingredients in a blender, which is 1 1/4 cups of cashew nuts, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of orange juice, juice of 1 lemon, and a tablespoon of ginger puree. And you mix it up till it becomes a really nice, creamy, smooth white icing. And then spoon that over the top. And this is kind of one of those recipes that kind of works best when it's chilled. So what you do is put it in the freezer for an hour, and it comes out, and it's a really, really delicious carrot cake.
So does it hold its shape, or is it kind of a...
It does. It does need to be chilled to hold its shape, so it will kind of melt, as you say, if you leave it out at room temperature. So you generally want to store it in the fridge. I mean, many recipes will say for this type of thing to put it in the fridge overnight. But I like to shortcut it and just put it in the freezer for an hour, and that's generally enough time for it to kind of to harden up and be nice to eat.
Yum! Wow, that looks really, really amazing. Okay, so moist raw carrot and ginger cake. What's the next one?
Well, the next one is quite a cool concept I've seen in some cafes before, and that is a messy dessert glass. And that's where you get like a nice big fat glass, and you basically put all these cool ingredients in it, and you garnish it, the plate, and you make it look like a one big kind of messy kind of a presentation. So so I'll start with some of the ingredients in it. So the first thing to make is it's kind of like a banana split, I suppose, in a kind of a glass. It's kind of a variation on that, or kind of the ice cream with chocolate sauce, but it's like a much more luxurious, more fun way of doing it. So firstly, you want to make up some cashew vanilla cream, and this is cashew nuts, water, honey, and some vanilla powder or vanilla essence. So you blend it up so you've got a nice smooth kind of a creamy sauce. And then I make like a chocolate ice cream, and that's a cup of almonds, half cup of date puree, 1 frozen banana, some cacao powder, and some water. And so you put that in your food processor and blend it up so you've kind of got this beautiful cream as well. And then you do it's kind of like an ice creamy kind of a coldy one. And then we do like a chocolate drizzle. And I actually find carob powder rather than cacao powder works better because it's a darker colour, and it produces a nicer kind of a chocolate kind of a drizzle. So basically you mix 2 tablespoons of carob powder and 2 teaspoons of water, and you kind of stir it up till you got like a nice kind of a pourable sauce. And if you've got one of those little squeezy bottles, it's quite nice to put in one of those. And then you gather some whole cherries, some strawberries, some peanuts, some blueberries, perhaps some honey or maple syrup. And then, so once you've got all these components together, you then get your nice dessert glass out, and you put on the bottom, you put some of the vanilla cream, the almond ice cream, and then you just drizzle, garnish, throw the chopped nuts over it, the cherries, so you've got this beautiful kind of like a big kind of, well, it's a messy dessert really, with all these yummy ingredients, and it's just really delicious stuff and looks amazing. And if you serve it on a plate as well, you want to make sure you get some of the drizzles and the garnish all over the plate, down the sides of the glass, and that is your chocolatey cherry messy dessert glass.
Dude,
Wow.
that's awesome.
That is amazing.
We got a text on the text line from Stuart. He's saying, "I want some." He's keen. He's hungry for it. That sounds incredible. Yeah.
Very good. So that amazing dessert glass. What's the next one?
Well, the next one is one of probably our top-selling slices in our cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Party in your mouth pistachio and rose cacao slice. And I can't show you the picture here, but it looks amazing. So again, this is a similar slice thing. We've got your base. So you make your little base up with almonds, cashew nuts, dates, cacao powder, and coconut. So you put that in your food processor. And don't forget, you need to use like an S-blade style processor, which kind of is, it's not liquid, so it kind of cuts it together and creates this really nice kind of base. Again, push this into your kind of your square tray or a baking tray or something, and make sure you use baking paper underneath. It makes it easier to get off. And it's got coconut oil as well, so the melted coconut oil holds that together. And then you put your topping on, which is similar, but it's more of a kind of an icing, which is maple syrup, coconut oil melted, cacao powder, cinnamon powder, salt, and the magic ingredient is rose water. So you can buy this from most gourmet shops and health shops. It's a little bottle, and it's got rose water, and it's what you think it would be. Basically, it's like injecting the smell and flavour of a rose into your dish.
Look, I love rose water.
Really well with chocolate. It's amazing. So put some of that in. So you put a tablespoon of that in, and that should be your topping. And then you want these sprinkles. So what you do is you get some pistachio nuts, some dried cranberries, some goji berries, some cacao nibs, and you kind of chop them up kind of roughly, and you kind of sprinkle it over, and you kind of press it into the kind of a topping. And it's just beautiful. You got the green from the pistachios, the red from the goji berries, the dark purple from the cranberry, the dark brown from the chocolate. So it just looks amazing. So again, you put it in the freezer for an hour to harden up, and then pull it out, but cut it into slices, into little cubes. And you can actually slice this kind of a style of dessert really small, like even like 2 or 3 centimetre cubes is enough for a serving. You don't need big amounts because it's quite rich and it's quite concentrated. Mm-hmm. But it's just the most delicious, chocolatey, nutty, fruity cranberry, and that rose water just works so well. It's just one of these really desserts you try and it's, wow, this is just blowing my mind.
Yes, look, rose water, when you add rose water in anything, it gets amazing. I love it. Actually, and I also like orange blossom water. I think it's...
Yes, it's nice as well.
Yes, and I think that you can interchange, like in every recipe that you would put some rose water, I think you can put also orange blossom water. And in both cases, it's quite an amazing touch that they give.
Yes.
Very nice. All right.
So,
So party in your mouth pistachio slice, pistachio and berry slice. I love that name. What's the next one that you can share with us? Next recipe.
Well, lately I've actually loved making macaroons.
Really? Okay.
And these are so simple to make. So the recipe I've got here is from my cookbook 8, and it's 1 cup of long threaded coconut that you can mix in the supermarket, half a cup of almond flour, quarter of a cup of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then you want to get a micro grater and grate all the zest off the edge of the lemon as well, and then a teaspoon of poppy seeds. So very, very simple. Mix it together, and then what you want to get is a baking tray with some baking paper on it, and then you want to just basically measure out probably 1 tablespoon mixes, and it's really nice with the table. You can actually find, in terms of your tablespoon measuring spoons, you can find ones that are quite scooped. So it's kind of like a true half circle. You don't want your normal one you put on the table to serve up. You want one that's quite deep, so you get kind of like a nice rounded mound. So you pack them into these 1 tablespoon scoops onto a baking tray, into the oven 15 minutes until they're golden brown. And when they cool down, they're just the lemony, the zesty, the coconut. It's just a really nice kind of snack food product. And you actually buy macaroons in a lot of health stores these days. This is just a really quick, really easy way to have some nice, tasty snacks.
And then, but do you use some kind of filling for the macaroon?
No, I just make them just as they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can probably pipe in something to the middle if you want, but or in the naughty dessert world, you probably put some icing over it. But just as they are, they're just a lovely little simple coconutty lemony kind of a snack.
Yes, well, that sounds amazing. I love macaroons as well. They are such a delicious dessert. Well, what about you, Lawson? Do you like macaroons? Do you know what they are?
Yeah, they're like these like biscuity thingies. They're yummy, bro.
Yes,
they're yummy.
The only thing is that they're so small. You give like one bite, so you need to
then
eat
you have
few
a couple.
of them.
Yeah,
you need to have more than
It's a
one.
slippery slope though, because then you've eaten like 17 macaroons, and you're like, here you go. But I mean, if you're making them yummy, and
at least these ones are very healthy,
that's
so
right.
you won't have any problem with it. Jeremy, that's fantastic. So what's the next one? Do we have another one?
We do, yes, and I could go for hours on it, talking about this type of stuff.
Let's keep going here,
but
because
as you can tell,
yeah.
As you can see, the principle behind is obviously using natural whole food ingredients, using things like nuts and dried fruits rather than white flour, rather than using sugar and butter and things. So there's some really good ingredients you can use. And while these are quite these are still quite concentrated high calorie items, using more healthy ingredients, and you don't need to have big portions. You can just have little things they generate and it can be enough to satisfy you. But the next one is honey grilled fruit with cinnamon apple cream. And one thing most people probably haven't tried much of is grilling fruit. So this presents so well as an amazing platter. So you just get an oven tray out, and then you cut. And the recipe I've got here is from my cookbook 6. And you get a pineapple. So basically, you cut it up into little kind of half moons. Get bananas and take the skin off, and cut them kind of diagonally into little chunks. Get oranges, slice them into full rounds, but with the skin on. Cut some strawberries, some blueberries, and then some pears, and slice them up into wedges as well. And put this on an oven tray, and basically drizzle it with some honey, or you could use maple syrup if you wanted as well. And then grill it for probably around about 5 minutes. So this is in your oven with the heat coming down. You're not wanting to cook it through. You're wanting to kind of get that honey or the maple syrup to kind of caramelize over and through the fruit and soften at the same time. And you just kind of check regularly, because when you're doing this type of thing, it's easy to burn. So you want to make sure you kind of keep a real eye on it. So it might be 3 minutes in some ovens, 10 minutes in some ovens. So just be really, really alert. And then just basically pull it out, put it on a platter, and then you can make some cinnamon apple cream. And my recipe here is just cashew nuts, apple juice, and some cinnamon. Just blend it up and then drizzle it over, put a few mint sprigs on top. And as a buffet or a platter, it just looks amazing. And just with the fruit, when you kind of grill it or kind of roast it, just the flavour intensity is just doubled. Peaches and nectarines are amazing as well. But yeah, just try some grilled fruit and present it really nicely with a nice cream, and you'll be really amazed at how amazing it can taste.
That looks absolutely amazing. Jeremy, thank you so much. This is such a great collection, particularly now that we are starting to get into some hotter weather. I think that they kind of call for nicer and fresh desserts like these ones. So we really appreciate, by the way, if you radio friend that's listening to us, if you missed any of the ingredients here, well, you can just jump into our webpage, faithfm.com.au. You can find Jeremy Dixon's complete archive of interviews with us, and you can replay it to your heart's content until you get every single ingredient right. Or, of course, you can get the Revive Cafe Cook 30 cookbooks from any ABC shop or online. Jeremy, thank you so much for being with us this morning and for sharing some yummy tastes.